So it has been confirmed that there will be a delay in the commencement of the Skills in Demand visa. The Skills in Demand visa was meant to replace this visa, the Temporary Skills Shortage 482 visa. The best thing about the Skills in Demand visa was that there were new streams and that you should only need 1 year of work experience to qualify for that visa, which is different to the current 482 visa where you'll need to have a relevant qualification and 2 years of full-time work experience. However, there is some benefits to this delay because with the new Skills in Demand visa, there would be a new occupation list. And looking at the CSOL occupation list, which I have posted about before, there are a lot of occupations that are not on there. So that means there's still time if you have an occupation that didn't look like it was going to be on the new occupation list to lodge an application for the 482, provided you meet the requirements. And I do have one tip for you guys. The 2 years of full-time work experience requirement for the 482 visa is at the time of grant. So if you're just a little bit short of the work experience requirement, but you do meet it soon, you can technically lodge the 482 visa. You just got to work out your time frames and speak to your migration agent or lawyer. And for those wondering if this will still lead to permanent residency once the Skills in Demand visa comes out, we're still waiting for all that confirmation, but generally speaking, there will be a grandfathering provision, which they had for the old 457 visa. Hot off the press, the Department of Home Affairs has just released the CSOL occupation list. That is short for the Core Skills occupation list. And it will apply to the new Skills in Demand visa under the core skills stream of the Skills in Demand visa. It will also apply to the 186 direct entry visa. Now, they are saying that it's going to be released and it should be implemented by the 7th of December 2024, but that's in like 4 days' time. It seems pretty quick to me, but let's see if it really happens on the 7th of December. So far, we've identified that occupations such as cafe and restaurant manager and customer service manager are no longer on the list. If you haven't got migration advice already, this is the time to get your migration advice. I just spent some time looking at this new core skills occupation list. This occupation list will be relevant to those who are looking to apply for the Skills in Demand visa under the core skills pathway. Now, we don't have all the information about the core skills pathway yet. It is essentially for occupations that are essential here in Australia, and you must be paid a minimum salary of $73,150. A lot of the occupations that were on the previous occupation list are still on this occupation list, but there are some new ones and they're so interesting. For example, I found content creator, and then you've also got childcare worker and out of school hours care worker. I am eagerly waiting to see the requirements for this, so I'll keep you guys updated on it. They have published some updates about the new Skills in Demand visa. So the Skills in Demand visa will still be a subclass 482 visa, but the requirements have changed and there are 3 streams. So far, they've published the requirements for 2 of the streams, which is the Specialist Skills Pathway and the Core Skills Pathway. The Core Skills occupation list will apply to the Core Skills Pathway. And if you're looking to apply under the Specialist Skills Pathway, which will have priority processing, it's available to all occupations except for the ANSCO major groups 3, 7 and 8, which includes occupations such as trade workers, machine operator and labourers. So they have reduced the work experience to 12 months. However, that 12 months of work experience is at time of application, and you must have the necessary skills, qualifications and employment background for the role. You'll need to also meet your English requirements and all of that. For the core skills stream, similar, you'll need to have 12 months of full-time work experience. They can accept full-time, casual or part-time on a pro rata basis. And the applicant will need to demonstrate that they have the skills to perform the role. Perhaps the most exciting part is how you can transition to permanent residence through the 186 temporary residence transition stream. That one is very loaded, so I'll be releasing another video soon explaining that. So you know the newly published CSOL occupation list? That applies to the 186 direct entry visa as well. And they have published the requirements for the new 186 visa. This is the direct entry stream. You can check out the occupation list because there are some very interesting occupations on there that are now eligible for the direct entry 186 visa. That includes beauty therapist, childcare worker, diving instructor, and even flight attendant. Now, if you don't meet the requirements for the 186 direct entry visa, you can of course still apply for the 482 visa, where you'll just need to show that you have the relevant skills and qualifications, plus at least 1 year of work experience. Have a look at your occupation because there are caveats that apply. So for certain occupations, there are certain requirements. So if you look at, for example, private tutors here, caveat number 14 applies. On that document, you'll be able to find the caveats, which is similar to what they had previously. So this is for applicants who need to stay in Australia if their visa is about to expire to undertake workplace justice activity. So for example, if you have an ongoing workplace claim with your previous employer, It could be things such as wage theft or even bullying. And this is how we've been managing these applicants. First of all, some applicants will come to us and they already have an ongoing case. However, some do not. They're still inquiring whether they have it. Now, we don't do employment, we just do immigration, but I do refer to my colleague who is able to identify this for them. So if they've advised, yes, you can proceed with this or no, they will form the case and then direct them to the certifying body to get the certification. Once we get the certification, then we're able to lodge this visa. Now, to lodge this visa, you must be in Australia currently on a substantive visa with work rights. This visa is usually granted for under 12 months. In some cases, you can be granted over 12 months, but again, you'll need additional certification from a lawyer.